Hey guys, welcome to Life and Style Ish. I'm India, and it's great to have you here. This week, I decided to turn my jewelry remnants into a 3D art project. First, I had to head to my basement to collect the old remnants. So I use knob cones in my jewelry making, and when they're cut, sometimes the inner core will fall out, or they're cut at a weird angle or too thick. Some reason why I can't. They're not usable. You can see here these are the peaks, the very end. So those are not usable pieces. You see these are the ends here, and like this is what happens when the core falls out. Some of these are solid, but they may be cut at a weird angle. So yeah, there's usually something about these particular pieces that they just are not usable. But you can see that they have really, really nice detail. Once you put them in resin, they're so shiny. This kind of looks like a little hedgehog almost. So yeah, they have really, really striking and beautiful features to them. So that's why I decided to go ahead and try to turn them, into an art piece rather than them just collecting dust in the basement. That's what I decided to do. So initially, I started off, I put some decorative paper in a small frame, a little square frame, and then just started arranging the pieces, kind of how I wanted them to look or how I liked them. And the shape actually started to come out to look a little bit like a elephant almost. So I was kind of going in that direction, and arranging the pieces kind of that way to try and do maybe like an outline, or I was considering painting it. I wasn't really sure. I was just trying to get it to where that I could take it to the next level. So after finishing the piece, it seemed like it was a bit too much because I ended up painting it and embellishing it with gems on the paper as well. And after kind of taking a step back and looking at it, it seemed like it was a bit too much. And actually, I couldn't even really recognize the elephant shape that I kind of started off with. Then the frame was gold, so it just seemed like there was a lot going on. And even with the pattern with the paper. So it just seemed like it was way too busy, and I really wanted to go for a more simplified design, and that way I could showcase the remnants. You can really see the detail, if kind of a less is more sort of thing. So here I'm just taking the paper off the backing that was in the frame itself, and I took this apart completely and decided to just go ahead and start over. So I'm just taking the tape off now, and just gonna go ahead and take the paper out, or the paper off the backing completely, and yeah, just cutting that tape away. And you'll see the cardboard underneath. Once I take this paper, you'll see the cardboard underneath, and I am going to be keeping that. So once I've taken off all the paper, I go ahead and use another different sheet of paper, and put the backing back in. And this time I'm just going for I decided on a simple heart design. The original design was so close together, it was hard to appreciate the individual pieces, which I feel are very striking. So I just wanted to go for more of a simple design, and you can appreciate the kind of the individual pieces that make up the entire heart. And once it's all together, I'll do a close up and show that to you guys. All right, and here it is. I just placed it on a small shelf in my room. with a couple of other items, and that kind of I feel like complement the design. So yeah, it looks really really pretty. It's got nice little sparkle to it, and like I said, you can really appreciate the different aspects of the individual knob cones as they're called. And I really like that you can look at each and every individual one, and they're all completely different. So I did, like I said, wanted to add a little bit of embellishment to it. So there are a couple of gems, a little bit of glitter, but yeah, I really enjoy putting that together. So I had some extra remnants left over from the last project. Left over, I decided to make this wooden tile art piece. So I'm just arranging, again, I'm just arranging them kind of how I want them to be. And it's this piece of wood is just a piece of wood that I found that was sitting in my laundry room. I kind of keep DIY items and things I never know, just scrap items, scrap pieces of wood or paper, things like that I know I'm going to be using for DIY projects. I kind of keep them stashed away in different places. So yeah, that's where this piece of wood is. So yeah, just decided to break this out and do this kind of a tile, a 3D wooden tile art piece. And so I'm just arranging the different pieces where I want them to go. And this one started to kind of look a little bit like the United States when I started off. And so I kind of was just going with that sort of organic look. And I wanted these to kind of be abstract. I didn't exactly want them to be, I didn't want them to be perfect. So that's kind of why I'm just like moving them around and deciding exactly the best placement. And here we are. So I embellished this one just a little bit more. I did use some brown paint to kind of lighten the dark brown of the wood. And then added a couple little items here. It's just like a little nook, a little reading nook on the side of my fireplace. So yeah, I put this next to a coloring book that I have that I really, really love. And it's got a little bit of gold sparkle to it and different, colors. So I really thought that went well with this. And yeah, you can see the gems here that I put there in the corner. And you can really appreciate, you can see kind of doing a little close up here. Sorry, it's waiting to get in focus. So yeah, you can really see the detail of the knob cones and how they look, in their natural state for the most part. I didn't really put any too much resin on too many of these. A couple of them do have resin. The shinier ones have resin, or I covered in glitter nail polish, but for the most, or paint. But otherwise, yeah, I left them in kind of their natural state. But yeah, this is like I said, a little nook here. Just needed a little freshening up, so decided to add that there in the corner and use some of the remnants that we had just kind of laying in the basement from doing our jewelry project, doing our jewelry projects. So it's nice to be able to use, reuse something that would normally ended up in the trash and make it art. So yeah, thanks so much guys for tuning in. I appreciate you for watching. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.